Hi, I'm Sandra Hawkins and I want to show you the basic do-while loop in Java. So the syntax of it is do and while, then round brackets, and inside the round brackets goes your condition, and very important at the end is a semicolon, so try not to forget that. Okay, to control this loop I'm going to declare a counter, int counter equals 0, and my condition will use that counter. So I'm using to see how many times I want my loop to execute. So if I want it to go 10 times, it will be counter less than 10. I'm going to talk through it, so I'm going to do counter less than 4. Now, curly brackets are optional in a do-while loop. So if I just put in a print out here, print out, the counter is, and I'm going to concatenate onto that the value of the variable counter. So right now I don't have any curly brackets, they're optional because I have one statement in here. I am going to put in a second statement to increase the counter by 1, so counter plus plus and semicolon. Now, only the first statement is included as part of the do-while loop, and it now expects there to be a while here, so that's why it's not compiling. Syntax error, insert while in your expression to complete the do statement. So because I have more than one statement, I need to put in my curly brackets. I would always put curly brackets in anyway. For that reason, you may come back and add in more lines of code, especially for your ifs, your elses, any of the loops. It's really a good idea to put in your curly brackets. Now, so just to talk through here, I'm just putting out a little bit of space so I can put arrows in that in. And I'm going to put in as well here a print out. Print out here, just end of main or after the loop or anything there, just so we can see what's happening. To run the program there, just so we can talk through the output. Okay. So starting out, the counter starts at 0. Then execution goes down into the do while statement. So from here in, and we get our printout. So you can see that printout down the bottom, the counter is currently at 0. So from our printout here down to our counter plus plus, so that changes our counter from 0 to 1. From the counter plus plus down here to the condition. So the condition, is the counter less than 4? Well, it's currently at 1, so that's true. So when that condition is true, execution will go back inside the body of the do while loop. There's a printout for the counter, so the counter is at 1. Next line, counter plus plus, so that will increment our counter from 1 to 2. After the counter plus plus, whoops, down here to the condition again, is go again while counter, which is at 2, is less than 4, which it is. So we loop around again, we get our printout, counter now is currently at 2, again to the counter plus plus. So that becomes 3. After the counter plus plus, we go to our condition. Is 3 less than 4? Yes, it is. So we go back inside, print out the value of the counter is now at 3. Then to the counter plus plus. That changes our counter variable from 3 to 4. And from there down to the condition. So go again while 4 less than 4. So now 4 is not less than 4. So when that condition becomes false, we will go down to the end of main. Now, if you noticed here, just if I talk through the restart, so that there's our end of main prints out. When we came in at the beginning, counter is 0. The do went straight in and it printed out, then to counter plus plus, and then to the condition. So with the do while loop, the condition is physically at the bottom, and therefore any code inside the do while loop has to execute at least once. So that's the main difference between the do while loop and the other loops. It has to execute at least once, and for that reason it will be used for maybe getting credentials from the user, to getting them to log in with their username and password, then checked maybe against the database, and if something is wrong, then you would go again and present the user with the menu again and get their credentials from them again and check them again. So the do while loop is used when you want to present the user with a menu or do something at least once. Yeah, so that's our do while loop. So do, optional curly brackets, but I would recommend putting them in. Your while and the condition. When the condition is true, the loop will execute. When the condition becomes false, it will go to the line of code after the do while loop. If the condition never becomes false, you will end up with an infinite loop. And that is the do while loop.